Thank you all for being here today. What an amazing, amazing show of support, right? Show of support for these young men right here, right? Obviously, a show of support for our athletic program and the basketball program, and I think this is a great show of support for our community and what this community stands for. So thank you all for being here today. I want to recognize just a few people, and I've got a kind of a long list of thank yous, but it'll give you an indication of how this kind of thing all comes together. So if you bear with me a couple minutes, I appreciate that. First of all, in the room, we're going to have two all Big Ten former athletes in the room tonight, right? You know Steve Alford, right? Multiple Big Ten basketball player, All-American, national champion. And we also have our football coach, if you didn't know, Jay Norvell, all Big Ten football guy. And you know, many of our coaches are here by pointing out, Coach, because we got a spring game coming up next week. We got the grit run. I expect all of you to be there to run the grit run and come out and cheer for the Pack in April 27th, 2 weeks, okay? All right. I also want to thank, he's not here today, unfortunately. He's in Las Vegas at Board of Regent meetings, but our president, Dr. Mark Johnson. I got to tell you, folks, we have a great university president. He's done amazing, amazing things for this university. You see the growth. You see the new buildings. You see the growing student population. You see the admission standards. We're a national Tier 1 institution. We are an R1, a Research 1 institution now because of Mark Johnson. I'm telling you, he got it done, and he helped us get this done today, too. He helped us big time this week, and I want to give a great recognition to Dr. Johnson. So please, he's not here, but round of applause for Mark Johnson. And we have another special friend here from the university administration who worked her tail off this week to make this happen, okay? And that's the University General Counsel. She's the attorney for the university, and she helped us get this done. She's here. Mary Dugan, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the best. You're the best. And, you know, I'm the front person for this kind of thing, but there's a lot of people that are behind to make this happen, right? To make this hiring happen, to give us the ability to hire an amazing coach like Steve. And I want to thank a few of those people because they're here today. And please, if you can wave your hand if you want, or just quietly, but amazing amount of support from our community to get this done. I'm so grateful. And I'm going to roll through names. Chris Aramini, Matt White, Rick Revilio, Gary Carano, Anthony Carano, Bridget Pierce, Casey Sullivan, Mike Pegram, Sonny and Kelly Newman, Anthony Marnell, the Paganetti family, the Dolan family, Nick Rossi and LP Insurance, and many, many, many others. All these folks came together to make this happen. And I'll talk more about them in a second and about the greater community in a second, but I do want to say thank you. Our staff worked their tails off. I mean, on 3 days to put this event together, our staff worked their tails off the last few days with this tough transition, and I want to thank some folks. First of all, our Deputy AD, the stalwart, the main man in our department. Everything happens through him. Rory Hickok. Rory, amazing job, as always. This event today is, I mean, you're going to see something fun today. This is not your standard press conference, but it's the work of Holly Aycock, Chad Hartley, Ann Larson, Nate Barlow, Matt Miller, Kim Anastasados, Zach Madonic, Andrea Pearson. Thank you, thank you, thank you for putting all this together. You guys are amazing, amazing. All right, last two things from me, and these are really important. When I started the search this week, I listened to some really important people. Right? I listened to these young men here. I met with them, and we talked through kind of the transition a little bit, but more importantly, we talked through characteristics and the qualities of the type of person, the type of coach that they wanted to have. And they shared some really smart things, some really great things. And I told them, we're sort of in the middle of the search when this was happening, and I said, I think I'm on the right track. I think I'm going to find the person that fits everything you guys are looking for. And, they wanted someone that has unbelievable experience, like great experience, NBA experience, has coached and trained people that have been in the NBA, played in the NBA, obviously coached at a very, very high level, right? Played at a high level, coached at a high level. They wanted a person who really cared, right? Really cared about them, someone that years later might be in their wedding or, see their first child born, that kind of stuff. Like someone's going to be part of their life forever. And then basketball-wise, they said we want someone that runs, that has an up-tempo, like a system that's something that's fun to play, right? And there were a few other things we talked about, but boy, I think we nailed it, right? When you get to know Steve Alford, right, he talks today. In fact, this next week he's going on a trip to go see some of his old teammates. He keeps in touch with people that he coached and played with 20 and 30 years ago, right? They're dear friends of his. I got emails from people this week, people from Indiana that said, we were friends with Steve when he lived in Indiana, his first coaching job in the 1990s, and we love him to death, and he's a great human being, and you're going to love him in Reno. Like just people care deeply about him, and he's still connected to those people years later. It's just fascinating. And obviously, he's got a great resume. He's won and played on every single level you can imagine. So I think we got the right person. Second thing is, I listened to our community, right? This community spoke loud and clear the last few years by filling up this building, right? 11,000 people. Our average is all-time record attendance in this building. And we wanted to have someone that would connect with the community, someone that would be great, run a great style of basketball, be fun to watch, but someone who was a real person that would be active in the community, be part of the community. And I'm telling you, we knocked it out of the park in that area. You're going to get to know Steve and his wife, Tanya, and they're just amazing people. They're good human beings, and we're going to love having them in our community. So, and lastly, important to our community, we want someone who wants to be here, right? We don't want someone that's going to win like crazy and jump. We want someone that wants to be here and that's going to put roots down here, right? We want someone that's going to call this home, and with a 10-year contract and amazing terms, Steve has spoken loud and clear that he wants to be here, and we couldn't be more excited to have Steve Alford, Tanya, and the whole family to be part of Wolfpack Basketball, be part of this great university, and be part of this amazing, amazing community. So without any further ado, let's get to the person we want to meet tonight, and I'll turn the time over. Taylor?
And now, Wolfpack fans, put your hands together. Let's welcome your new Nevada Heads men's basketball coach, Steve Alford.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. It's about the same size that I wore back in the day. So if we get the short shorts back, and I've already met with the team, so I think you're used to about 13 uniforms during the course of the season, so maybe we'll just go back to the short shorts, and that'll be I've told all my teams in the last several years that trend is going there anyway, because as you go watch players, they like to roll them. And they just keep rolling them, so we might as well just order them short to begin with. But I'm just getting so old that when I played, we didn't have the tights, guys, so you had to have really nice legs to be able to pull off the short shorts. So, but very, very excited to be here. Thank you so much for this welcome. Couldn't be more excited. Our family couldn't be more excited. through this process. I got a lot of people that I need to thank. President Johnson and his wife Karen had a great dinner last night in a very hectic day yesterday, and then continuing that in today. But it was great meeting them and visiting with them and allowing them to kind of put their blueprint together with me in the vision, and appreciate obviously signing off on everything that we were doing. Doug has been tremendous, and his staff throughout the entire process as it's moved, and I can't thank him enough. And the words that have come back from just the people I've reached out to in regard to that, the leadership that you have here is at a really high level. And that was going to be one of the top priorities for me moving forward, was to make sure there was an administration that was on board and work together the vision that I think I have of trying to get Nevada to the point that we all want to get it to. And I know that that takes not just a coaching staff, not just players, but more importantly, it takes an administration that's really going to support that. And I really appreciate all the works that have gone in with that. Matt White has been tremendous. First phone call, it was like, I think I've known him for 15 years, and that doesn't happen very often. So nobody sold this program and this community any harder than he did through this process. So very, very appreciative of him, of what he's been able to do. Very appreciative of Scott with Athletes First, who represents me, and a longtime friend of mine, Mike Barnett, who assists him, has always represented me. I had incredible representation through this entire process, and very much appreciate what they were able to add to this and get the situation to where it was going to be a really good fit and a win-win for everybody, and I think I very much appreciate that. My wife Tanya's here. Obviously appreciate our family, and we're very, very close. Knowing a little bit, and as you learn kind of about the Alford family, we're about faith, family, and then hoops. And when we get that kind of mixed up, that's when we screw things up. But I really appreciate the support from the family. I've had a chance to meet with the players, and couldn't be more excited about meeting with them. And starting this new era of what we're trying to do and continue to build on what's been established here at Nevada. It's always exciting coming into arenas like this. What a beautiful arena. I don't know all the history of all the coaches that have been hired here yet, and I really look forward to learning all about the tradition and the history. But I just might be, the first coach that has been hired here that's undefeated in this building. So that's a good thing, and we hope that that continues. I love this league. This was a league that in 6 years at New Mexico, I had a lot of fun in and was able to coach a lot of good players that have gone on and continue to play at a high level, and we were able to win and cut down several nets in a gym just about 450 miles south of here that I've always enjoyed doing. And so I think being back in the Mountain West and having an opportunity to just create that, and I'm very appreciative of a lot of those fans that have reached out to me, and they're like, well, you can't get away from the Wolf. And there's a lot of truth to that. And so I'm very, very blessed that I get this opportunity. I think you're going to really enjoy our system. I've kind of evolved into a West Coast guy, being small town Indiana. I grew up in a town of 18,000 people, and our gym seated 10,000. So I'm from the largest high school gym in the world. And so I've been very fortunate to be small town and kind of have small town feel, small town values. And yet I've been very fortunate to be on a big stage, to be able to play 2 years of high school and sell out 2 straight years at Newcastle High School, 10,000 every night, and have that special feeling of being able to do that, and then to play at Indiana and play for Coach Knight and win a national title, and during that segment as a freshman to be on the Olympic team and play with the likes of Jordan and Mullen and Ewing and guys like that. that was special to be able to do that and then have a pro career that lasted 4.5 years and then get into coaching at the age of 26. And now this is my 6th spot. And now trying to do what we've been able to do at those other spots, and that's take something and just try to evolve it and try to make it more special, try to make it better. And that takes the work of everything. And I know today, with all the fireworks, with all the festivities, the band, the cheerleaders, everything that's involved, I know today is a lot about me, and I hope that that's it. That it's great, it's enthusiastic, I'm excited about it, but my coaching style is about us. It's not about a single player. It's not about a single coach. It's about doing this together. And I want the team to be the focal point. They've got a lot of work to do here in the spring and summer and fall to get ready for the season. We have a great schedule already put in place with a couple things yet to do. But it's going to be a very, very exciting schedule, and a schedule that when I was in the Mountain West before, we scheduled up, because we knew that's how we were going to get better seeds. That's how we were going to prepare ourselves for the Mountain West Conference League play. And we will continue to do that here and try to get as many national games as we possibly can and stay in a national picture that I think is vital to the success of our program. But it's about it's about us. It's about the team. It's about coaches. It's about administration uniting with an incredible fan base. Because I was asked, through Doug and through just talks with him, why Nevada? And there's a lot of reasons why Nevada. One of the reasons is the fan base. I wanted to be a place where there was going to be basketball support and people that really not just supported basketball but understood basketball. And I can remember my days in the mountain. The thing I appreciated most about the pit was when all of a sudden we had a game where our team started a little bit flat. That place went to a whole nother level. And the team got into the game because of fans. And I think that's what I appreciate about the fans here, a good, hard-working group of fans that are knowledgeable about basketball and support it at a really high level. This is going to be a fun environment for our team and our staff to work in and do this thing with you. So I think it started with that. I wanted to be in a place that really appreciated basketball and was excited about basketball. I think that one of the other things that was very important to me was administration. I've always built our program that I think I'm confident enough with my experiences that I know how to win games and win enough games to be fairly successful. But in the 10 years that I had and the stops that I've had where we've really had special movement to where the needle has really been pushed forward, it's because we've had an administration that has been there to back us. Doesn't mean you're telling me yes all the time. It's really about how can we get together and really, is this important enough that we're going to move the needle to become a better program? And I've sensed that in this administration that I'm very excited to work with. So I think that's incredible. I'm spoiled. Our family has now been in the West for 12 years. So weather has something to do with it too. So continuing to be in a great climate was going to be important to me. Our team, what we are having returning, and I think that's something that I'm pretty excited about because I think most of the country would say, hey, you graduated the oldest team in the country. And so there's no other team that had more experience and age than what Nevada had a year ago, and now that's gone, so the perception would be a dip. And I think that's what should be exciting for these group of young men right here and others that we'll bring into the fold, that they have that opportunity. They've been a part of something that has been pretty special. Now can you keep it at that level and move it forward? That's the challenge that we all have. And I've realized, I've looked through the roster, and now that I've had a chance to meet with each and every one of these guys, those pieces are put together. And I think we've got a hungry group of guys that are ready for now that this is their chance. And that's what basketball is about. You have seniors that leave. And I think our recruiting model will stay the same that it's always been, that we want to bring to you high-character guys that love the game of basketball, that want to represent not just themselves, not just their family, but represent this university and represent this community in the way it deserves to be represented. So I hope that the way you watch us play, you'll get around us and rally to our guys and to our team because of how they play. We're going to play hard. We're going to outwork people, but we're also going to outthink people. And when you can outwork people and you can outthink people, then you have the most fun playing this game. And I learned that as a little guy at a gym by myself, that I knew that if I was going to be any kind of player, I had to outwork you, and then I had to outthink you. And because of that, then I was going to have a lot of fun. And I had a lot of fun playing the game, and I've had a lot of fun coaching the game when players understand the work that goes into it and the thought process that goes into it, then you enjoy it. I think players get it all messed up when they try to have fun before they understand work, before they understand thinking the game. Before we're going to inundate them with film. They're going to really learn how to study the game like a coach and understand the game. And when you look at just this recent Final Four, those were 4 teams that really understood how to play the game. So it's not just about working at it. It's also understanding how to play it, and then we'll all have as much fun as I think that we all want to have. And so there are so many things that really drew me to Nevada that I was so impressed with. And I hope that you know, just through contract alone with Doug and the administration and my family, this isn't a short stop. This is something that we are going to build and build it to the highest level and continue it for as long as we can. The last thing that drew me here, golf. I got to be honest. I'm transparent, and I'm an honest guy. I love the game. If there's anything negative about this weekend and the timing of this hire, it's Masters weekend. And I have not seen Tiger hit one shot. And so it's killing me. So I'm hoping that over the weekend I get a chance to see a little bit of golf. But what a great place to golf. And I know I've got to get with the golf team very shortly because I need balls, gloves, bags. There's a lot of the gear that I need to get with that. But on a serious side, as a coaching staff, and we're going to be very busy in the next week of putting everything together with our staff, I'm anxious to get to know the other coaches, both on the men and women's side. The thing that I was very impressed here, everything's right here on campus. And so getting involved with the other programs is essential for me and for my staff and for my team. I want to follow, I want to support all the teams and do everything I can to assist all the programs and get involved from that standpoint and make sure our players are engaged that way as well. That's what the college atmosphere is all about. That's what the college structure is all about. It's not a professional situation. It's about being a college student athlete, and part of the college student athlete experience is the support that you lend to your peers that are also competing on this campus in whatever sport that may be. So I'm really excited to get to know a lot of the coaches. There are some of them that I know, and we have some ties that I'm excited about to get to know them and watch and support their programs. So very, very eager, very excited to get this thing moving. I think this team's excited. We can't wait till we get to October and we're able to practice full time. But in the meantime, we got a lot of individual work to do that we're going to get better as a team, get better as a staff, really start to blend and build our culture and our identity that we want to have that I think you're really going to enjoy following this team and this program. So thank you very, very much for coming out. I very much appreciate it. I think now this is probably questions if you want to.
Yeah, we'll do a larger media availability after today's event, but we will take a few questions.
Hello. Hey, there we go. Chris Murray from Nevada Sportsnet. I mean, one of the big selling points is that you do want to be here for a long time and want to put down roots. Why is it? Why do you feel comfortable being able to say that in this phase of your career that you want this to be your last job?
Well, I'm no longer 26. I've had my stops, and I've been at all the levels. I started at Division III in Manchester College. In fact, Bo Ryan, the legendary coach at Wisconsin, I met him in the championship game of Division III. We were 31-0, and he was 31-0 with his Platteville team, and they beat us in the national title game. So I started there, and then Missouri State was my first Division I job. Moved to the Big Ten at the young age of about 34. So I was very young when I got a chance to be in the Big Ten. So I've been in a Power 6 league already at the age of 34. Then went to New Mexico, spent 6 years at New Mexico, and then the last 5.5 at UCLA, another Power 6 school. So I've had that realm of different leagues, and one of the leagues that I had probably the most fun in was the Mountain West. I liked the coaches. I liked where we had to go play. I liked the environment that was established in the pit. And I think this is a place that has all the makings of being the most difficult place to play. And it's our job to create that kind of enthusiastic play. I think we'll have a great style of play, and we're going to have great players executing those things. So everything was a good fit, and we've moved enough. We're empty nest, so it's about finding a place that I thought we could really – it's not about, when you're young, it's about where do you move for school systems, where there's a whole different deal that goes into it. And this move was all about where can Tanya and I get involved in the community at the level that we want to get involved to. It's in my mind, it's a college town, smallest big city around, and I think it presents a lot of things that we want to do and make a difference. Make a difference spiritually, make a difference in the community, do the things that mean a lot to us as a family, and I think those were big reasons why we wanted to come here.
Hi, Coach. Duke Rittenhouse from the Reno Gazette-Journal. Could you break down for us what are the immediate priorities? I mean, there's always some chaos with the transition. What needs to be done first?
Well, and that's what I talked to the team yesterday about. I've done this 6 times, so I understand what transition is. And transition is hard on coaches because as I hire a staff, all of us have to uproot and move from somewhere and then find where we're going to live here. It just doesn't happen overnight. There are things, so that's hard on all the coaches' families to go through that transition. And then it's hard on players because you've been recruited by one staff and now that staff's gone. So now here comes in another staff. So it's about, and what I've tried to do just in the last 48 hours is to build that trust with these guys, to know this is my nucleus. These are my guys, and they need to know that. And I'm really excited for them. I don't think they understand what's going to hit them with just some of those changes that will be made and some of the things I think are going to be very exciting for them from a national attention standpoint for them and the marketability. I'm a marketing major from Indiana. It's something that I take very seriously. So marketing these young men and marketing this team is going to be vital to me of what I want to do. So I think my priority right now is these guys. You know, just handling them through the transition, that's not easy. And we're not gonna build that trust in a day, but I hope that the first impression for them was very good, that I mean business. I'm in it for them. It's about them. It's not about me. It's about them and everything that we do moving forward. I've already had discussions from administration and everything about trying to change maybe this in the coaches' locker room or something. I'm like, you know what? True, we'll get to that, but we got more things that we got to do for these guys because as we elevate these guys and their experience here, it elevates what they do. I want them feeling as good as possible putting on this uniform so that they understand working as hard as they can, passionately thinking about the game so that they have as much fun playing this game. So, yeah, there's a lot of things beyond that I got to look at, but they're the top priority right now.
Mike Stephenson with Colo TV. I was actually going to go down Duke's route, so instead I'll just ask, what do you hope a player gets out of playing for you and your program? And also, I guess, how far at this point are you in filling a staff?
So you had to, make a run at a new question. That's big time. That's big time.
On the spot.
Yeah. So I hope guys enjoy playing for me because we do as much as we can in practice and film. Very tough, very disciplined, coach in a very professional way in that it's not demeaning, but it's tough and it's firm because I think players, if you're playing at Nevada and you want to be at the highest level while you're playing college basketball to then try to create another future in basketball, you need to know how hard it is. And so one of the things that I can do for these guys, it's not that I've just coached pros. You know, I've coached numbers of pros. I've coached first rounder. I've coached lottery picks. So I've coached one and dones, two and dones, three and dones, four and dones. So it's not just about coaching the pros. I've lived that too. So I know what it's like. I know what the per diem is you get when you get on the airplane. I get that, so I get all the role playing that happens at the highest level. So I think we'll be able to share a lot of those experiences, and I hope that what comes out of that is it's hard to get there. It's not, in today's era, think that you go to middle school, you go to high school, you play AAU, you go to Nevada, and then you go to the NBA. It don't work that way. It's all those things can you control. Once you get to Nevada or you get to your university that you're going to play, it gets really hard to make that next step. So I hope in practice they understand how hard it is, and all I'm doing is pushing them to be better every day. The thing I appreciate about my father, who coached me in high school, Coach Knight, who coached me in Indiana, it didn't matter if I had a game in high school, and these guys, I haven't told them yet how old I am. All right, but I'm old enough, there was no shot clock, there was no three-point line. So the rules were a little bit different. So if a team in high school wanted to stall against me, they could stall against me. But I had 57 in a game in high school with no three-point line. So I understood how to play the game and score it. The reason why I bring that up is I can remember doing that, and the very next day my dad could care less. He's into me. And because I appreciate it. I mean, I liked it at the time, but I like it now because he was just trying to get me better. That game was over. Now, how do we get better? Same thing with Coach Knight. You know, I'd have a big game at Indiana, and the next day I thought maybe I didn't score. But he was just trying to make me better. And so I've had coaches that were tough, they were disciplined, but they truly cared, truly loved about who I was and how to make me a better person and a better player. And I hope that these young men will understand they play for me. That's what they're going to see in a coach.
Coach, you mentioned a couple times style of play at various points today. Is there any way you could break that down a little bit for us today? Like, let's say tomorrow's the first game. What would we see?
If tomorrow was the first game? That might be hard. I mean, we got guys in slings. We got some guys that need some haircuts. I mean, you know, there's a lot going on. So I'm not sure if I could play a game tomorrow. But it is something that I hope these guys will appreciate. And I've told them all in my individual meetings, I'm like, you know, look up my stuff. Look up my teams. You know, see how our best team at UCLA, the won 31 games. Look at our style. You know, we like moving the ball. Offensively, it's tempo, it's fast pace, but it's moving the basketball. It's sharing it. It's unselfishness. I give guys freedom to make plays, and I give guys freedom to shoot. That doesn't mean I want bad shots. It's not a video game where we're just going to dribble the thing down and take the hardest shot we can. It's how we can move the ball with spacing, with screening, with cutting, with movement. In my mind, it's the prettiest way to play this game, and everybody touches it, everybody shares it. Now, we'll develop our roles as the season goes along that, you know, certain guys need more shots than certain, but it'll happen through everybody touching it and feeling a part of the offense and having a meaning towards it. So if you look at my offenses, the tempo has been good, efficiencies have been good, and then defensively, we've been a little bit variant at UCLA. We'll probably get back to what we were at New Mexico, and that's about 90%, 95% man with some zone just to see if the other guy knows what they're doing against zone. But most of it's going to be man, and again, the same thing that we do offensively, we depend on a teammate. Offense should be about depending on your teammate. Defensively should be depending on your teammate. And the thing I will say, this transition has taken place, and I've met with each of these guys individual, and these are the guys that were here this year. And verbatim, across the board, in every meeting that I had with them, they made a point to mention their teammates of how close they are, how much they love their teammate. That's huge. If I don't have to correct that or build that, that's huge.
Hi, I'm Siobhan from the Reno Gazette-Journal. This might be a question for you or for your wife. Can you kind of describe what it's like to watch you on the sidelines? What are you like during a game? Kind of describe your style.
You'll have to do a one-off with her. She doesn't get the stage. So you have to do a one-off on that. You know, I've been very, very blessed because I'm a coach's kid. You know, I always tell a story. My dad kicked me out of 7 practices. Coach Knight kicked me out of 8. So I've been kicked out of practice. You know, what you really want to know is a Coach Knight story, so I'll just give everybody a Coach Knight story. When you get kicked out of a Coach Knight practice, you know you're supposed to go in the locker room, and guys, this is for you too, so you know the rule here if you get kicked out. If you get kicked out, you go sit in your locker, and you wait for Coach to come in, And then you have a one-on-one with coach. And coach will determine whether you get to come back out to the floor or you got to leave. Well, my senior year, I'd been there 4 years, and now all of a sudden I was pumping my chest a little bit thinking that I was all this. And I got kicked out of practice, and I decided I'm going to run into the locker room. I'm throwing all my practice gear off, changing, and I'm gone before he gets in the locker room. And I thought I was slick. So I put the apartment that I lived was about 2 miles away, and I pull into my apartment, the phone's ringing. Again, this is how old I am, guys. They were called landline phones. You didn't have cell phones. You actually had to pick it up. It's got a cord on it. And I pick it up, and it's our trainer. And our trainer says, Steve, Coach wants you to come back and put your practice gear in the bag. People don't understand how funny Coach is, but it wasn't about get your blanky blank back here. It was about, you know the rule at Indiana. When practice is over, you put it in the bag, you tie it up, and you put it in the laundry basket. And all I could think about was I thought I had this whole plan set up, and I screwed up not putting my practice jerseys and stuff back in a bag. So now I get caught, and now I got to go back, and that was not fun going back and experiencing that. But I hope that watching me on the sideline, I hope there's passion. I'm a passionate coach, but I'm not a coach that is standing up all day long, controlling the tempo to where, you know, it's 1, 2, play 1, 2, 3, 4, fist 5, fist 6, and guys are slowing up looking at me. The ideal play for me as a team is if these guys get between the lines and play 94 by 50 and play the game without looking at me. If they can do that, then I think there's a good connect. They can look at me when I call them over, but when the play's going on, the live ball, they should know what to do. So if you see that, then we've connected in practice the way they're supposed to play the game.
Coach.
Yes.
John Ramey, Nevada play-by-play.
Yeah, I know, John.
Nice to see you.
It's great to be back.
First impressions about Reno, Northern Nevada for you and your family?
A lot of the things I've already mentioned, John. It's been tremendous. The people have been tremendous. I've met students already that have grabbed me on campus just walking. So, you know, that's been very, very special. The connection, I think, is where you're getting there. And I'm looking forward to seriously diving into this community, seeing where I can help, seeing the avenues that we can all create and just continue to move Reno and this university in a very positive forward direction. So the people first have been tremendous. Getting to know some of the administration and staff, you know, I've told all of them, please tell me your name again, because I'm meeting so many people that it's hard to remember. But today, much better than yesterday. Yesterday was really, for a Cali guy, that was really cloudy. So it was good. But, you know, obviously, it's just been fun. It's beautiful. Wow, what a beautiful area. I've been very impressed with the facilities. The new practice facility is outstanding. So I've just been impressed with everything. It's my first impression has been, you know, these guys, you know, because I've been without a team for 2.5 months. So now getting that team back connected, that's something that's meant probably the most to me. But there'll be a lot moving forward, and I get to test some greens and some fairways pretty soon. So I'm excited about that.